This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Dr. Orabueze pointed to a series of next step meetings held with the US Lobbyist. These meetings were meant to chart the path from declaration to international recognition, from Finland to UN. But soon after, the same insider began backpedaling, choosing instead to align with saboteurs and open lawsuits. She cited court filing, warnings that even some legal licensing were not at stake at the moment, but now, as at then, it was at stake because of those conflicts interests. You're welcome and welcome back again. Dr. Orabueze is having a secret meeting with Biafran lobbyists. It is now clear that she is genuinely working for Biafrans, and all the saboteurs are getting gradually exposed. In this turbulent season of the Biafran rebirth, when the dust is yet to settle from the courtroom in Finland to the politically conventional halls of America, one who seem to have stand strong and remain consistent in quiet revengeance and fury to the opposition remains Dr. Orabueze. Behind closed door, she has emerged not just as a symbolic figure, but a strategic one indeed, navigating the treacherous road of many saboteurs and people alleging to pull her down as fast as they can. But the Biafran recognition is a more higher task for her to achieve. That is why it becomes even more obvious that the enemies continue to fail in their own tracks. When crocodiles eat their own eggs, what will they not do to flesh of ordinary frogs? That is the birth truth now surfacing. The bitter truth is everywhere for everyone to see, as betrayals rise from enemies and insiders. Within, that is where the problem of Biafra emanates from. The bitterness within. Dr. Orabueze begins by acknowledging that this month, many will become witnesses of divine encounter in the Biafra movement. But even as she pressed forward with faith and clarity, she addresses the obvious bitterness within the USB government. The most painful backlash, she lamented, came not from outsiders, but from those who once identified as family within the movement. When the rat inside the house joins the one outside the house, then the cooking pot can never have any peace. According to what we are hearing, Dr. Orabueze has made it very, very clear. Let everybody hear that she's a daughter of the soil, and her commitment in preaching the word Biafran cannot be relented. She doesn't want violence, but she knows that there may be no peaceful transition, and she's in for it. She's building the right structure, strategies, and putting in the right sacrifice for success to come out. The fallback liars. Rumors of fallback plans have been scattered all over social media. A supposed attempts by some miscreants to cancel out the declaration already made on the 29th of November has fallen flat, as Dr. Orabueze has continued to insist that immediately after the declaration, signaling a clear intention to push forward, not retreat. And that has been her plan and her agenda, and she has stood true to that. She revealed the so-called fallback was a lie from the pit of hell. In her own words, Some insiders who were not appointed to strategic committee turned bitter. Those that feels that they deserve the position more than others fought for it. She acclaimed they begin to claim and misinform other people, telling followers that the already made declaration is not true and they should cancel fundraising and they should reverse to the briggy system that they used to have before. That the Biafra government in exile should be dragged to court. The axe forgot, but the tree remembers, and Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is the tree. Lobbies, meeting, and political structure. Behind the scene, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze quietly meets with US lobbyists immediately after the Biafra redeclaration in Finland. The goal was clear: begin the international recognition process through a well-laid diplomatic groundwork. Some critics argued she should have showcased Biafran police uniform during the Finland declaration. Her response to this statement was that there was no need to mimic nationwide superficiousness. Instead, build the department, structure the government, and meet international standard. And that has always been her own goal. You don't tell a deaf man that the war has started. He will see it with his own eyes. From lobbyists to local US politicians, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze detailed the path, furnished the documents, applied grassroots pressure, and built the relationship needed. This step, through slow and a formidable solid foundation of recognizable states. Now, what are the betrayals? What are they doing to support what Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is doing? Nothing. Who are the real enemies at this point? According to Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, those pushing the fallback narrative are the same group suing the US government, attempting to sabotage the recognition effort. Those individuals have also been accused of leaking private messages, misquoting political figures, and stirring division. When the root of a tree becomes decay, it spreads death to the branches. She posed the critical question: who are they working for? They claim to fight for Biafrans, yet undermines its recognition. They hide under social media screens, but their move reeks of desperation and sabotage. Even legal advisors once meant to push USB forward are now suing the same system they helped to build. According to Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, a $15 million was approved by the president of the USB, which she personally wired into the designated account to support the structure and appeared building, including uniforms and public imageries for the government in exile. The critics, she noted, failed to even produce the promised materials. They only know how to pull down, they don't know how to build. The real next move. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze pointed to a series of next step meetings held with the US lobbyists. These meetings were meant to chart the path from declaration to international recognition, from Finland to UN. But soon after, the same insiders begin to backpedal, choosing instead of them to align with the programs of the USB government, they decide to sabotage and open lawsuits against the same USB government which they were part of instituting. She cited court filing, warning that even some legal licensing were now at stake because of this conflicting interest within the house. Even a goat knows who truly owns it when the yam festival begins. She urges Biafrans not to be deceived. Let the saboteurs keep shouting. Let them run to court. What matters is strategy, order, and the truth. Dr. Ngozi Orabueze says a quiet prayer turned charged up Biafrans to remain resilient. She reminded Biafran people that diplomacy is not for the unprepared, that you don't enter international politics without brain, backbone, or planning. If the hunter learns to shoot without missing, the bird must learn to fly without perching. This is not the season for illiterates to hijack the mission. Biafran future depends on the structure, not social media voice or noise. Let the record show Dr. Ngozi Orabueze is not falling back, she is stepping forward. This is a strong message that every Biafran must replay.